Alrighty guys, we're doing another wild game cooking video today. We're going to be smoking a bear roast, a venison roast, and then another venison piece of meat that we're going to treat kind of like a, almost like a tenderloin. It's actually a roast, but it's a really tender piece of meat that we're going to bring to medium rare with some musket powder on it. So I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm going to be following Chris because he's the smoker dude. So he's going to explain a little bit about how we're going to treat this meat today.
Okay, so we're going to smoke a couple things. First of all, we're on the Oklahoma Joe stick burner. It's cold out here today. I want to say it's 20 degrees. January, we got playoff football on the TV all day, so that's good. I expect we're going to have a little bit of trouble keeping temps. It's a little bit windy, and with the cold, it's always a little bit of a pain keeping temperatures good. But bear roast and the venison roast, we're gonna try to treat it like ribs, similar to the 3-2-1 method. I'm thinking the venison we won't take as high of a temp. There's not as much fat in there, not nearly as much fat in there. I haven't smoked these cuts of wild game yet, so this is kind of a learning experience for both of us. So we'll see how it goes. After that, I've also got some chicken wings we're going to throw on there, and I think during it we're going to put some backstraps on the Blackstone, so we get a full day planned.
We're going to have the wild game meat sweats going on today, but like Chris said, this is a little bit new for us, so this is going to be kind of a learning experience, and hopefully it turns out. But no matter what, we're going to have fun hanging around the smoker, watching football, and eating meat however it turns out, so it'll be good. Okay, so I'm gonna season this meat up. This piece of venison here, is the one we're gonna cook to like medium rare. I'm gonna do musket powder on that. Musket powder is one of my favorite seasonings for wild game. I use it all the time. If you guys have seen my other videos, you know how much I like it. So I'm gonna completely cover this in musket powder, get a good rub. I'll probably add more before it goes in the smoker. And then these two, this is the bear roast here, and this is a venison ball roast. And like Chris said, we're basically gonna treat these like ribs. So I got a rub here that Chris likes to use. And with this too, we'll hit it again before it gets in the smoker, but we're just getting these seasoned up so the seasons have time to work their way into the meat a little bit. But I'm excited to see how this turns out. This is our first time, so we're just learning, but I don't think there's any way it's gonna not be good. Alrighty, we got our smoker pretty well stabilized. We're hoping to keep it right around 225. So we're putting in the bear roast, venison ball roast, and our other piece of venison with musket powder. So now we just got to try to maintain temperature, watch the meat, and
We watch football.
all right. All right, so something that I didn't mention earlier was step one in all this was brining the meat. So last night I made just a super simple salt, water, brown sugar, and then I added some soy sauce and Worcestershire sauce to the brine, and then I brined the meat overnight. That's essential to this process. So step one is brining your meat overnight. That helps keep it moist, gets it ready for the smoker. So I forgot to mention that earlier, but before I seasoned the meat, I pulled it out of the brine, patted it all dry, and I had my brined meat that I seasoned and then went into the smoker.
All right, we've had the meat in the smoker for a couple hours here, 225, 235 degrees. The bear roast is up to 145. Venison roast is 130. We're gonna take off the venison steak real quick here. I think we're at like 125 on that. We're gonna throw it on a Blackstone, quick sear, and then we're gonna enjoy that along with some backstrap. But with the roast, what I'm gonna do, take some tin foil, I'm gonna wrap those up. We've got some squeezed butter, some brown sugar, and then of course honey in there. We're gonna wrap those up for a little bit, see if we can get them a little bit more moist, cooked a little better. like I said, this is the first time I've ever done these cuts of meat, so we'll see. We're kind of just trying some things out. So yeah, we got some work to do here. We're gonna eat a little bit, then we got a little bit more work to do, and then we'll eat a little bit more, and then a little bit more work, and then we'll eat again. So you know, we're getting there.
Alrighty, so I pulled this one piece of venison off. It is out of the hind quarter, but it's a nice piece of meat, so I normally turn this into steaks. We got a perfect internal temp of 132 degrees, and we were thinking about reverse searing it on the Blackstone, but we got a nice bark. This musket powder and the smoker turned into a perfect bark, so I'm just gonna slice it up thin and serve this up. Awesome. Alright, I'm gonna give it the official taste test. That's really good. It's nice and moist in the middle. So I wouldn't call it medium rare. It's got a nice smoke ring, but it's nice and moist, great flavor. Not mad at that for my first smoked venison. Alrighty guys, you can dig in if you want. Wish I had cut in here.
Oh yeah, that's good. Scrum-dilly.
Alrighty, so we are kind of just doing all sorts of wild games. So what's up next is we got some backstrap here. We got a couple medallions and then one bigger piece of backstrap. So I'm gonna make this the way I normally do on the Blackstone. I have a more in-depth video on how I like to do it. I'll put that in the description below, but we just got some seasoned backstrap. We're gonna throw some olive oil on this ripping hot Blackstone and sear it hard until it's medium rare, and then eat it as finger food. Yeah, pretty good. Alrighty, so our bear roast and the bigger venison roast are both at about 155 degrees. So Chris is inside whipping up a little glaze to put on it, a mix of barbecue sauce, honey, and garlic. We're gonna quick glaze these, put them back in for a little while, and then pull them out to rest, so that the goal here is an internal temp of about 165 degrees. Bear, you absolutely have to cook to 160 degrees at least, because they can carry trichinosis, so that's just the safe cooking temperature. Normally, venison, I always try to do, you know, medium rare, so 130 degrees, somewhere around that mark, but we are treating this a little bit differently because of the method of cooking it. So this is our first time. So far everything else has turned out great, so I'm super excited to try this bear roast especially. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So Chris is making that up. We're gonna glaze it, let it go for a while, and then it'll be time to let it rest and then cook it up and eat it. All right, we got our roast pulled out. They look awesome. Now we're just gonna slather this glaze on them. Just gonna dump all this in there. Should we just throw this whole thing in there, do you think?
Well, I'll put them right on the racks, I think.
Okay. All right, so for the final little bit here, we're just gonna throw these directly back on the racks with the glaze on them. And these things already look just incredible, so I cannot wait till these are done. Alrighty, Dad showed up just in time. I'm gonna cut up these things and we'll give them a try. The smoke ring on the bear roast looks, I mean, incredible. Wow. Look at this. This looks like a...
What's a smoke ring?
Just this thing. Go on, Don.
Wow.
Doesn't that look good?
Yeah. Yeah. Like me a flick.
Can I get a picture before we do it?
I think not.
Well,
They're pretty good. Excellent.
alrighty, so we're all finished up here. I think the consensus is 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Oh, totally. Outstanding.
I prefer the bear to the venison for sure. The bear fat is awesome, has incredible flavor. Yeah, we didn't, I mean, really know what we were doing. We had an idea of where we wanted to end up, and I think it turned out great. So this wasn't a exact recipe, follow the steps. We just kind of wanted to take you along for the journey, and it turned out really, really good. So
Well, I turned out just in time.
Yeah.
The bear has a little bit more brine flavor. I can taste a little bit more bite. I don't know why, but I prefer it over the venison.
yeah,
I really do. I don't, just tasty.
I mean, it's cooked through and through. The smoke ring is beautiful on it, and but it's still plenty juicy and just really, really good. So definitely gonna do this again. It was worth the effort for sure. And as far as bear roast go, I mean, I think that's the way to do it. So,
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah, definitely.
so we still got chicken wings in the smoker for as if we didn't have enough meat today after the
Never have enough.
first bear roast, the backstrap, this, and then chicken wings. But what a fun day. I mean, this is what it's all about. This bear roast is actually from Dad's bear. So
Oh.
this is your bear. The deer is mine, and
Thank you. Glad you found it in the freezer.
yeah. So now I have like 80 pounds of bear meat, and now I have a pretty good idea of how I want to cook it up. So yeah, let's dig in, I guess.
Yeah, cool.